Is it a blessing or a curse?
It's the law of karma that eventually gives us a certain body, certain things that you can do with that body.
In every birth, we're burning off karma.
It doesn't matter whether you're born a man or a woman.
Welcome back to Some You Speaks. So today I have my mom again on the podcast. I am excited to talk to her about feminism. This is sort of a touchy topic because there are politically correct and politically incorrect answers to give, and I've seen some people dissing feminism online. They have some valid reasons for it, and I'm the kind of person who always likes to peel back the layers to see why someone is saying what they're saying. But because the people who diss feminism or support feminism, they usually don't do it with nuance, and that's why I see that the comments section usually tends to have some sort of backlash where they're angry at the person because of the way they said it. So one thing I want to make sure with the way we approach this topic is that we are nuanced in what we say and we understand why people, well, both sides of the issue, right? I'm just going to start with a provocative question, but I think we should handle the question with nuance when we discuss it. And the question is it a blessing or a curse to be born a woman?
That's a very interesting question, and thanks for reminding me about nuance. Sometimes we forget those things.
Yeah.
So I think that it's the law of karma that eventually gives us a certain body, whether we are born as a man or a woman or anything else in between. It's the law of karma that's playing out. So we should not be looking at it whether it's a blessing or a curse, but just do our dharma. Do the dharma that goes with that body, with that gender or that the sex that you got. You have certain things that you can do with that body, and so respect what that body is the boundaries of that body, the capabilities of that body, and take care of that body, and then perform your dharma. In fact, there are 4 purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, which maybe we'll have to do another podcast to understand that. But that's the purpose of your life. Basically, in the Indic understanding of things, we all come with a purpose and we have to fulfill that. So it doesn't matter whether you're born a man or a woman, you have to achieve that purpose. And it's never alone. So if you are a man, when you get married, then there's a woman and your wife, and together you're going to achieve that purpose. If you're a woman, when you get married, there's going to be a man, and together you're going to achieve that purpose. So that's the way you should look at it. And yes, it's always good to look at anything you've been given as a blessing, because it is you who makes what it is, right? So I have always been extremely happy to be a woman. Of course, there are days when I was not happy about it. When we are on a period, that's the time I think we question. It's a curse to be a woman. That's the time when all these things come. A lot of people, I've heard this so many times. I've said it myself too. During period, you feel like, why is this happening to me? I wish in my next birth I'm born a man. I don't want this.
But I do think, okay, objectively, I know that we should be positive in whatever body we get. Yes, you're right. We should be positive about it because we cannot exchange our body for anything else. But just objectively, a woman has to biologically just endure more hardships and more pain. That's just hardwired and programmed into being a woman. Of course, with your period, with maybe the hormonal cycle, with childbirth, and then all sorts of cancers that most women would usually get, like there's cervical cancer, and then there's breast cancer, and just like there's just so many things that I think, so much pain that a woman has to endure just because they are a woman. And so I'm inclined to think, I have to make sure I say this in a nuanced way, that it in those ways I feel like maybe it's a curse. However, you can also flip anything on its head. And if you look at it from our theory of karma, right? In every birth, we're burning some karma, right? And I think to explain what that means, it's karma is like the consequences of your action from previous births. So
actually, karma phala. Karma is the action.
Okay.
Karma phala is the consequence of that.
Okay, so in every birth, we're burning off karma.
There is a karma that we performed, and there is a phala that comes as a result, and we have to go through with it, whatever it is.
Yes, but what is the meaning of burning off your karma? Is what I'm asking.
Okay. Burning off your karma is that as the result of that karma that you are getting, you have to go through with it. Enduring that is what is burning, is going through, that's what you're calling burning of karma, right?
Yeah.
So there's a karma that you've performed, and you're bearing there are consequences coming to you, good or bad. So you have to go through with it. So that you would say, oh, I'm burning my karma. People don't understand this. When they use the word karma, they call karma, they say karma is a bitch and things like that. But it's karma that you perform. You have performed that karma, and you have to bear the consequence of it. Yeah.
So I'm just saying that when you're going through all this pain, you're burning off karma. So as a woman, you're burning off more karma in your lifetime than a man is if you're enduring more pain. So if you flip it on the head, maybe it's a blessing that we get to accelerate our journey through our births as the more times you're born as a woman.
Yeah,
So
probably.
that's I don't know, it's some theory that I came up with, but I'm sure I should look online, confirm with gurus, and see if this is something that is supported. But that's the way I look at it. So it's a curse to be going through the pain, but it's a blessing if you look at it in terms of the bigger picture. That's my theory.
I have something to say about the pain part of it, because there's the pain that we endure during periods is actually not normal. It's been normalized today because of the kind of lifestyle that we lead. We eat any food we like. We eat junk food. We eat, like when we are about to get our period, we don't care. We don't change our diet. So we have really bad diets, and all that leads to pain during the period. Whereas if you see those who are having the right diet, they're not suffering the pain. So the pain that you have normalized is actually not normal. So there need not be pain during period, and I've learned that only recently. And we have seen how when we control our diets, we don't eat those gassy things which cause pain. We actually don't get the pain during period. So it's also something to ponder on. The pain of childbirth, again, childbirth need not be painful. It's just that we have normalized a kind of process which is not natural. Again, the kind of food that you're supposed to eat prior to childbirth, and then during the pregnancy, if you don't follow all that, you have more discomfort during childbirth. When I came to know that actually when you sit down and give birth, in the squatting position when you give birth, there's actually lesser pain, then I realized that we are doing things wrong, and then we are complaining about the pain. Why are we not talking about that?
That's a good point, that we've sort of deviated from nature. So it would be good to know how people maybe lived back in those days, and if women did go through pain back in the ancient times.
Yeah, I feel like if you went and asked a woman, say 500 years ago, maybe she wouldn't have said that childbirth is painful or period is painful. She would just
We've
be
moved
going
into
on.
the hospital, childbirth to hospitals when they never used to happen there. And they used to just give, like the way animals give birth, maybe that's how we used to also give birth.
Yeah, but of course we
infants here.
did it even more intelligently because we ate the right kind of food during pregnancy, so that we
There's
made
more
sure
physical exercise as well, that
Physical
inbuilt
exercise.
into our lifestyle in the ancient times.
the whole lifestyle was such that probably childbirth was not this painful. And so a lot of people are going back to that natural method of childbirth.
Okay, let's discount pain let's not talk about pain. But other ways in which maybe being a woman is, so we talked about how women can be liabilities during war. Women and children are usually, women can be raped. And you did bring up that men can also be raped.
So there's a consequence, yes. When a woman gets raped, she might give birth, she might get pregnant.
That's also
That
true.
doesn't happen with a man. So yes, man will go through the suffering of rape, but he will not produce a child because of it. Woman has to now
bear the child of a rapist, which is
and bring up that
something
child.
a man doesn't have to do. So
That's
that puts her again in a harder situation.
Yes, that I agree.
That is also a curse.
That would be a curse. Yes, that's a liability. But then again, it's how you face it, how you go ahead with it. You have been given this body, so it has its vulnerabilities. But it also has a lot of privileges. Sometimes I think as a woman gets a lot of privileges. In India this time, I was feeling it all the time. The kind of respect that a woman gets simply because she's a woman. Like she'll be getting a better seat to sit on. somebody will offer to carry her suitcases. These things happen a lot to women.
That's
Test
true.
it
There's
out.
more chivalry that's taught
Yeah.
to men in the
Yes.
way they treat women in general.
They will always offer to carry, and elderly people also. I saw that in
Yeah.
India there's a lot of respect and help given to elderly people. But yeah, women, I felt that women also often get privileges because they are women. May not be all the time,
Yeah.
but they do. There is this feeling that I need to be nice to this lady, I need to give her a place to sit, or offer to carry, or drop her, bring her back, something like that.
Right.
There are people who try to help women all the time.
And also life expectancy might be,
Oh yeah.
you can either see it as a privilege or a curse.
Women live so long. What is it that you found that women live
I
longer
think it
than
was
men?
in America it's 80 years average life expectancy for a woman, and then 74 for a man.
Imagine. So if you're born a woman,
If you see living longer as a blessing, it's two things.
yeah. If you think, I mean, if you can do a lot of things. You can the productivity, the what you want to learn. You have more time to learn new things.
Right.
So living longer also can be a blessing if you have a good life. If you're having access to the amenities of life, and if you live longer, it might be fun.
Yeah. Well, when I was younger, I guess I was like 5 or 6, I thought it was great being a woman because we can wear whatever we want. Like if we want to wear a skirt, we look good. If we want to wear jeans, we look good. And now I look at guys and think, oh, they cannot wear dresses and skirts.
Yes, it's a very interesting point. Women have the freedom of dressing.
Dressing.
Yes. Women
Of course,
can.
now it's different. Now we're.
Okay. Now it's tilted the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember those arguments. A woman can be boyish. She can be tomboyish. That is still accepted.
Exactly.
A boy being girlish
Is less accepted than if it was cool if I like to be like a tomboy because I thought it was cool, but I don't think it would have been that cool when I was growing up and a guy acted more like a girl it would have not been that cool.
It's
The
acceptable today.
tomboyish thing is acceptable.
Yeah.
So that was interesting just from that point of view in my childhood to see.
Yeah, it's acceptable today for a boy to be feminine.
Yes,
But
now it's changing.
It's changing, but still not really all over the world. It's still very
Yes.
hard. So that way, women are privileged. They can be what they like. They can wear short clothes. A man wearing short clothes would be frowned upon.
Yeah, like men cannot wear. I think we had a dress code in our high school that men cannot wear tank tops,
See?
but women could. But that's more so because it's like disgusting to see all the hair of their underarms, or
Yeah, so they
it's
don't have the
distracting.
freedom of
Yeah,
dressing.
so
Yeah.
maybe they don't have the freedom of dressing that a woman does.
And I think you told me in your high school a boy wrote an essay on this that that a boy is not allowed to be girlish. I remember you told me about that. A boy
I don't
wrote this.
remember that, but yes. So I guess the conclusion is that it could be it's either a blessing or a curse, but at the end of the day, it's the body that we have, and we have a certain dharma attached to the body that we have, and it's best not to look at things in terms of being a man, being a woman, because I think that's just going to lead to more victimhood mentality.
Yes.
We just got to do the best with what we've been given.
And you have to do your duties. You have your dharma. You have to perform your dharma as an individual. You have to perform your dharma as a society member, and do all that. And whether you're a man or woman, you can do all that. You have to take care of yourself, your family, and the society at large. And women have so much to contribute. Women, so it's a blessing. If you ask me, it's a blessing. Of course, we are in a society where women are respected. There are societies where that may not be the case.
Of course, we're privileged in
Then
that.
there, women have to fight harder to get what they want. But eventually, if we get to this space that we are in today, where women are respected and they are given all these privileges, it's amazing to be a woman.